Looking at Bitcoin as we go through, we have our bigger parallel. Now, again, it is pulling back. Bitcoin is pulling back a little bit this morning. In fact, I'll walk over to the big board and take a look here. But basically what we have on Bitcoin is it's still struggling below the even number of 100. There was a big options expiration on Friday going into Saturday, so that's been cleared away. That was a reason why the institutions might not have wanted it to break 100,000. But the one thing you can say here is
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. In this video, Gareth Soloway will dive into Bitcoin's technical analysis, breaking down key price levels, chart patterns, and potential market moves. Known for his insightful market strategies, Gareth's expertise helps traders navigate volatility. Let's catch him in action to uncover his predictions and strategies for Bitcoin's future.
you favor a move higher still. Now, you might say, well, why? Well, very simply, we have this shelf right here, right? So you have this line right here at around 91,000. As long as price is above that floor, right? If this is a floor, it's support. So as long as price stays above, even if price pulls back here, as long as it stays above, you favor a move still to 107,000. 107,000 is that big parallel. You can kind of see it at the top here. That would be approximately that level, 107 to 108. But the idea is that you want to just use the chart to your advantage. Here's your technical support. As long as price does not close below this, or let alone confirm, then this favors upside, right? If you drop a ball and it hits the floor, it bounces. And that's the idea there about understanding support and resistance. Now, if it breaks this level right here, now you've broken through the floor, and there's this kind of air pocket here where price can actually trade all the way down to 75,000 to 74,000, right? There's not much support below. You can see it was pretty much a vertical move up until we kind of went sideways right here, creating that little floor area. So again, the overall conclusion or synopsis is that right now, even on weakness today, Bitcoin still favors a break of 100,000. And again, if it were to break 91 and confirm, then you start saying, okay, now that whole bull case is now wrecked at that point, and you start to look for that move to the downside. All right, next up, let's take a look at a couple other charts here. Gold on the trading day, you could see gold was down sharply, and this is interesting on gold. You have to give credit to gold here. It was down sharply on those Trump comments about the BRICS countries and you know, saying, hey, if you mess around with the dollar and try to create an alternate reserve currency, we're going to come after you and essentially 100% tariffs. Notice how gold was trading lower, and it's now bounced back to the upside. Now, the one thing I will still say, guys, if we walk back to the big board on this and look at it right here, is that understanding technical analysis is key. So what is this pattern? Even with the bounce today, and you're still slightly negative on gold, but what is this pattern? You have a down move right here, right? We have a down move and that. That's a classic in spirit of bear flag. And so even with gold still moving back above after it violated the low end of that little flag pattern, you would still have a negative bias on gold. Okay, now again, how would it be negated? Well, if all of a sudden we were to close above the wide range red candle, then that negates the bearish setup on gold right now. Now, if gold does break lower, the short-term support is right back to here. You can see it worked right there. So as a technician, you would assume this would be support at around 2560 to 2550. If it breaks that, then you're talking about going below 2500. But again, we won't go to that extent yet. Obviously, I can update you guys via game plans and trading the closes. But again, I just want you guys to make sure you understand your pattern formations, right? Wide range red candle, inside bar pattern, that's bearish on gold in the short term. Remember, we're just talking literally out a few days to a week or so. So I'm not saying overall I'm bearish on gold. You guys know, if you've been following me, I'm still net very bullish on gold for the next couple years, 3 years, 5 years out. But shorter term, this is what's favored to the downside based on technical analysis, which again is probability analysis. Always remember that when you're looking at charts, it's all about analyzing past history, which tells us, again, this generally happens more often than not. It's probability data analysis.
Bitcoin experienced a notable 2% surge on December 2 as the markets responded to MicroStrategy's latest announcement of significant Bitcoin purchases. The cryptocurrency gained over $2,000 within a span of 2 hours, an unusual reaction compared to previous market behavior following such announcements. MicroStrategy, a prominent business intelligence firm and vocal advocate for Bitcoin, confirmed that it had acquired nearly $1.5 billion worth of BTC during the week ending December 1. This acquisition, disclosed in a filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, and later affirmed by CEO Michael Saylor, further cemented the company's status as one of Bitcoin's largest institutional holders. On-chain analytics platforms and market observers took notice of the impact of MicroStrategy's aggressive BTC acquisition strategy. Kyung Ju, CEO of CryptoQuant, highlighted that the firm had invested $13.5 billion to amass 149,900 BTC, with Bitcoin's market dynamics unable to absorb such large volumes without upward price movement. He emphasized that further gains seemed inevitable, especially if Bitcoin surpasses the highly anticipated $100,000 milestone. Adding to the excitement, MicroStrategy's influence on the broader corporate adoption of Bitcoin remains a key focus. Saylor is set to pitch to Microsoft's board on December 10, proposing the tech giant integrate Bitcoin into its balance sheet. This move, which aligns with investments in other crypto-related assets by major shareholders such as BlackRock and Vanguard, could serve as a pivotal moment for institutional cryptocurrency adoption. Analysts speculate that Microsoft embracing Bitcoin could catalyze the cryptocurrency's rally to uncharted price levels, further fueling optimism in the market. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's price remained steady, trading near $96,000 after retesting support below $95,000 earlier in the day. Technical indicators, including the Relative Strength Index, RSI, revealed bullish signals, with the RSI nearing oversold territory and traders predicting further consolidation before a breakout. Analysts like Roman observed that Bitcoin was building momentum for a significant upward move, with $100,000 firmly in sight as the next major milestone.
Looking at silver, not much different here on silver. You're getting a little bit of a bounce on silver. It was selling off in the overnight. I do have these two parallel lines, so right now this seems to be resistance, this seems to be support. If support breaks at around $29.85, you would then head to about $28 per ounce. And likewise, if you could get above and really get above this level at around $31.65, then you could actually trek back to that $35 level. All right, next up, let's take a look here at the U.S. oil trade, see what's going on there. And I'd love to give you guys more insights and say, wow, look at this crazy move in oil, and oil just remains so quiet. Now, again, as I always say, and I always like to just cover this since it is important, keep an eye on the $65 level support. If you break and confirm below that, you're then likely on a longer-term downtrend to $35 a barrel. Please understand, I said longer term, not overnight or not in a month. That would be probably in a 12-month move that we would head down there. You'd have plenty of bounces to trade, and I would be going along plenty of times in that zone on oil once it breaks 65 as it hits support. I'd also short resistance at that point as well. On the opposite side, if it goes up to 74 to 75 right here, that would be your resistance. If somehow it could break above 75, then you get some light to the upside. But otherwise, oil is capped here, and it makes sense. The U.S. is just producing left and right? We're just, to be honest, overproducing. You'd have Trump in the White House, and he's definitely not going to do any sort of restrictions. If anything, alleviate a lot of any sort of, I would say bridges, or I should say blocks in the way for these drilling companies. And so it's really, produce, drill. And then the U.S. is just one component. You have all of Saudi Arabia and all of the other OPEC nations that are like, hey, listen, the U.S. is producing so much, why would we even cut back and hurt ourselves? Let's just produce and sell. Yes, it drives price down, but at least they're selling maximum amount of oil. Lastly, taking a look at natural gas today, guys, we can see natural gas is trading off of that high. It is getting a little bit of a bounce, but still down 5% on the day. You do have a little bit of support coming in around 305 right here. Notice your high pivot to high pivot to high pivot. So that is now support once we broke out. Retrace here. You probably would get a little bit of a bounce. I just don't have enough upside potential on that to make it worthwhile for me to go long. So instead, I'm going to patiently wait for a move down in this lower range to be a buyer. And then likewise, if we really broke out to the upside, this would be my first short level. There's a major gap fill around 440. So we made money on this a couple weeks ago. It was a great trade. We shorted right into here. It was perfect. The patience that I kind of showcased was a great example of how good traders are patient, and it worked out very, very quickly on that trade. And obviously now we're back in patience mode, sitting on the sidelines till the high probability setup comes and shows itself again.
The cryptocurrency market appears to be approaching the highly anticipated altcoin season, but this time the driving forces behind it may have shifted. Traditionally, altcoin seasons were marked by a capital rotation from Bitcoin into alternative cryptocurrencies. However, according to Kai-Young Ju, CEO of CryptoQuant, this paradigm no longer holds true. He suggests that stablecoin liquidity is now the primary determinant of altcoin performance, signaling a shift in market dynamics. Recent data reveals a surge in altcoin trading volume and stablecoin and fiat currency pairs, diverging from the historical trend of Bitcoin paired trading dominance. Despite Bitcoin consolidating below the $100,000 mark, several altcoins, including XRP and Solana, are nearing their all-time highs, reflecting significant market activity independent of Bitcoin's movements. This signals a deeper, more sustainable market transformation driven by the stability and liquidity of stablecoins. Additionally, the current cryptocurrency bull market differs from previous cycles. Institutional capital inflows into spot Bitcoin ETF have replaced retail-driven investments, altering the flow of capital within the market. Meanwhile, the altcoin season index shows that 73% of the top 50 altcoins have outperformed Bitcoin over the past 90 days, approaching the threshold that officially defines an altcoin season. With these dynamics at play, the crypto market could be on the brink of a fresh wave of altcoin growth. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.